Hello, friends. This is Sandeep from IT Shaala. So I have 11 years of experience into training and development. In this particular video, we'll be learning about the full stack Java course that we run at IT Shaala. We'll have a complete breakdown, what all things we'll be learning as part of this course, what is the timeline, and when we are starting this particular course. So let's see this. So why full stack Java? This is something most of the students have this question in mind. So very simple question you can ask yourself, who is hiring for this particular roles? So most of the enterprise companies that hire for backend, that was the era before generative AI. And most of the Java developers were waiting for front-end team to ship the feature and then look into that. So most of the stuff was very much dependent on the front-end people. But when you become a full stack developer, you can ship a complete product end to end. And that's what companies are expecting. Instead of hiring two developers, we can have a single resource who can do both front end and back end. So there is a high demand because of this, because this one person will have complete ownership and the complete view of the picture. So which fetches better pay. So you can own the features end to end. That is a simple thing you can see about. Next, so what are we going to cover as part of this particular curriculum, this particular course? So we'll have very clear differentiation. So we'll be starting with foundation, what exactly programming is. There are different tools that we will learn, and then we will start understanding the Java backend. There are a lot of stuff. Once that is done, we'll start with the Spring ecosystem. Once that is done, so we will deep dive into how do we test application, how do we develop web services, how do we develop microservices, and how do we deploy them. Once that is done, then we start with the front end. There we learn a lot of stuff such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Tailwind, CSS, React, and so on. And finally, we are good with the Capstone project where we do a end-to-end project, front end to back end, that is complete one. Also, along with this, you will have 12 mock interviews and 12 interview preparation sessions. As part of foundation, we'll be learning programming fundamentals. Why do we write program? What are the different types of programs? What are softwares? How program executes? That we understand along with the web client server architecture. Then we learn Git. This is for the code collaboration, code versioning purpose. We understand Agile, how teams works in the actual development. Then we understand SQL. Then we start with the core Java. Once that is done, we start with the data structures and algorithms. Then after that, we learn with the advanced Java, we learn JDBC, Servlet, JSP, and also Maven for the build management. Once that is done, we do a complete mini project using these old technologies. These are not used much, but since these are the foundation for different frameworks, we need to learn these as well. Once that is done, we learn the Hibernate. Then we move to the Spring ecosystem, which is something biggest of all. Then we start with the Spring core, understand the Spring framework, why it is necessary and how it is popular. Once that is done, we start with the Spring AOP, Spring JDBC, MVC, Spring Boot, Spring Data JPA, Spring REST, Spring Security, Spring Email, and so many other modules. Next, once that is done, we understand the unit testing using JUnit and Mockito. and we start directly the microservices. Once that is done, we understand the deployment part where we cover what are Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, and CI/CD. Next, in line we have front-end part. There we learn the HTML and CSS, then we have Tailwind CSS, then we have JavaScript in detail. Project we learn on HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Once that is done, then we do a React, and then we do a complete project with React and Tailwind together merged. That is a simple thing about the front end. Once that is done, finally, we are ready with the Capstone project, which is a end-to-end project. Then we have the front end, back end, databases with the Spring Boot and React. Everything is there so that you get a complete picture of end-to-end development. Then you also have the mock interviews. There will have 12 mock interviews where you will get the chance to test your knowledge. Along with that, we have 12 sessions on the placement preparation. How do you approach the interviews and what are the things you need to prepare for that? This is something we learn. And that's it. And why this particular curriculum is going to work? Because this is completely based on the structure that is project driven. So we develop a lot of projects, hands-on projects. We have Capstone project, end-to-end, everything you can see, front end, back end, databases deployed all together, not the theoretical part. We have the hands-on together. Along with that, we have active placement support where you will have dedicated 12 mock interviews, 12 placement sessions. Also, you'll be able to build your portfolio where you'll specify your projects and you'll be direct trainer involvement. I will be there along with the hiring partner as well. Now, who is this course for? This particular course is for the freshers as well as working professionals. So freshers, they can get ready from scratch and learn this stuff day by day. Now, there might be some working professionals who want to switch into full stack Java roles, who are front-end developers, or maybe Java developers, they want to switch, or maybe there might be some other technology persons they want to switch. So this is something you can think of. And one final thing, we are starting the batch on this coming July 6, morning 7:30 a.m. So this particular batch you can attend offline as well as online, and the content gets recorded for the future purpose. You can revise that and everything. Perfect. Now, that's it about the curriculum. If you look at this, this is something very simple roadmap you can also follow. Whatever the background you're coming from, this is something you can take it up very easily. The prerequisite is something you should be good with English and the hunger to learn new technologies. That's it, nothing else. So see you in the class very soon. You can register online as well as offline. The details are in the description. You can just have a look and see you then, guys. Thank you.